You want to know how I ended up here, foreigner? You dare ask such a question, as if we were equals. Very well. I will tell you the story, my companion in misfortune. If there is one thing of which we are not deprived in this bloody dungeon, it is time. I aimed for the throne, yet I ended up in this dark, moldy prison cell. Beyond these bars lies the land of my fathers, Lithuania. Its swamps, deep forests, and raging rivers are not exactly the heart of civilization, if you ask our enemies. Which makes it all the more astonishing that they have tried time and again to subjugate it. It began when some chosen ones felt called on to bring the light to Lithuania. They named themselves the Teutonic Order, and under the banner of the cross they promised deliverance, yet they brought only death and perdition. Lithuania was not easily cowed. Our ancestors learned how to fight by battling the forces of nature and the beasts of the dark primeval forests. Every one of our soldiers is steeped in that same tradition. But the more that we resisted the Crusaders and their god, the more ruthless they became. Slowly, we began to see their true faces. They called themselves holy warriors, but they were nothing more than robber knights. And 100 years of pillaging our lands had made them masters of their trade. They razed our strongholds and torched our villages. Had Grand Duke Gediminas still been alive, he would have put this mob of greedy crusaders in its place. But a devious coup ended his life and left the throne to his useless son, Eunutis. Eunutis was weak, but worse, he was divisive when the land needed unity. He turned away from our old beliefs and accepted the Christian God. As he failed to control the domestic unrest, the Grand Master of the Teutonic Order saw his chance to subjugate Lithuania for good. However, Eunutis' brothers, Algirdas and Kestutis, refused to stand idly by as their beloved homeland fell to the cross. They exhorted the disaffected princes to dethrone Eunutis, who had barricaded himself inside of the Lithuanian capital of Vilnius.
Internal disputes threaten our independence. The Teutonic Knights rattle their swords, while our useless brothers underestimate the threat. Let us put an end to this mischief. Take the throne and prove worthy of our father's legacy.
That is how we will do it, my brother. Just keep the order at bay. I will take care of our ineffectual brothers so that they might understand that the affairs of government should not be in their hands.
Algirdas, Kestutis. Rumor has it that you are taking up arms in rebellion. Father gave Vilnius to me, making it clear who he considered his heir. I will warn you this once. Raise your hand against me, and you shall die!
You cannot scare us, Eunutis. We have known you from an early age, and you have always been this pompous knee-high boy that you are evidently still today. You are all bark, no bite. Religious affairs are dangerous, but they can also be a useful tool. Some of our subjects follow ancient pagan traditions, while others are committed to Christianity. Perhaps we can win both groups over to our cause.
Be assured that the residents of this settlement could keep their ancient beliefs. In gratitude, they will send soldiers to assist us in battle.
curse on my envious kin. Is there nobody left with a sense of loyalty and decency?
Do not grieve over it, Eunutis. You can rely on me to teach these two ankle biters a lesson. I will see to it that they whine like beaten dogs and beg for forgiveness before tomorrow dawns.
Do not worry about the Teutonic Knights. I will assure that they do not cross our borders. But I will need the help of your soldiers to wipe out the Order's outposts, Algirdas.
The Order's raiding parties are on the run. I fear that these robber barons will return in the future. But for now, we should focus on liberating Lithuania from the rule of our ragged brothers.
My soldiers captured construction plants for powerful siege weapons from the Crusaders. But nobody in my ranks is skilled enough to understand them. Do you happen to have siege engineers capable of doing so? Excellent! Your engineers deciphered the plans that we had captured. We can now construct powerful catapults.
Men! How could Algirdas' soldiers make it into the city? Keep this rabble-rouser away from me, you useless fools! Keep him away! What a dread betrayal! Flee! For the throne is lost! Damn you, Algirdas and Kestutis!
Let him go, Algirdas. He will not come back. I have heard that he seeks refuge in Moscow. May he rot there. We have more important things to take care of.
My fortress destroyed! My army smashed! I have no choice but to withdraw after this shameful defeat.
There he runs! Narimantas allegedly seeks refuge with the Golden Horde. What a pathetic idea. It will not do him any good. Lithuania is ours. Let us rest and allow our brave men to recover from the fighting. We will meet at the court in Vilnius, my brother, for there is much to discuss.
To seize power is one thing. To keep it is something else entirely. Only a fool declares himself the victor after winning the first battle of a war. As such, Algirdas and Kestutis, the victorious usurpers, knew that their triumph could turn out to be short-lived. The two of them, however, were a different breed than most rulers of their time. Instead of quarreling as their brothers had done, and as most people expected them to, for who had ever heard of two men sharing power? Algirdas and Kestutis agreed to rule Lithuania together. It was a remarkable move, and it showed that they cared more about the well-being of their subjects than personal power. This, of course, did not go unnoticed by the Teutonic Grand Master. He knew that he would have to contend with more formidable opponents from now on. Come to the east, do God's work and be rewarded not only with nebulous concepts of salvation and eternity, but also with land and plunder. That was the promise of the Teutonic Order, and the reason that they could rely on a steady supply of battle-hungry knights. Christians of low noble birth who were easily tempted to try their luck in Lithuania. It was a scheme as ingenious as it was devious, and far from the holy mission that they spoke of publicly. After the Saracens ousted them from their holy land and stripped away their Middle Eastern estates, these crusaders now planted their iron heels on our backs to sate their lust for blood and plunder. When Algirdas was forced to deal with the defiant city-states of Ruthenia, wreaking havoc on the Lithuanian borderlands, the opportunistic Teutons saw a chance to invade our homeland yet again. Believing that western Lithuania lay open while Algirdas was occupied in the east, they marched into our lands. They were not expecting to face Kestutis, who had stayed behind to hold the heartland. But Kestutis was expecting them, and lay in wait, eager to teach these sword-swinging marauders a lesson.
I will once again deal with the haughty Crusader bandits who foolishly invade our realm. I leave Ruthenia to you, Algirdas.
Neither the fanatical order, nor the battle-hardened Ruthenians can oppose us, if we remain united and keep our ranks disciplined. Onwards!
Stop, soldier! Sheathe your sword!
We are Tatars, yes. But we come in peace and flee the Khan with whom we feuded. Will you give us permission to settle here and escape his wrath? Our eternal gratitude is yours, Lithuanians. We will set up a camp within your realm and fight your enemies.
Not long ago, a one-eyed Khan burned our entire city to the ground. We will not allow such destruction to happen again. Stay away from our lands, Lithuanians.
Some Tatar Kipchak horse archers have gathered in our castle and are eager to join us in battle.
We admit defeat. Will you accept our surrender, Lithuanians? We will serve you now.
We survived the Mongol invasions and patiently endured the Tatar Yoke for decades. You Lithuanians do not scare us. Alas, will our suffering never end? Continuing to resist is futile. We must submit to Algirdas and Kestutis.
Forward march! Let us give these unruly pagans a good drubbing. These unkempt swamp and forest warriors are no match for us. The Lithuanians dare to launch a counterattack? Send a rider to our brethren of the Livonian Order and request their support against this heathen rebel.
We have received your message and are on our way, Grandmaster. Together, we will sweep the Lithuanians off the map, like some bothersome flies.
The Lithuanians have conquered one of our fortresses! Which dark forces have they solicited to achieve this?
Attack! Make short work of them! Nobiscum Deus!
The Knights of the Livonian Order have arrived in the north. Our scouts say that they've even brought siege weapons. We have repelled the Livonian assault! The day is ours!
Two of our fortresses have fallen to the pagans. They must be favored by the Antichrist himself. We have no choice but to retreat to Prussia. For now.
What a triumph! The wicked Crusaders are defeated, and Ruthenia is subdued. But our success will not have gone unnoticed. The spies of the Golden Horde are everywhere.
The Grand Master of the Order had greatly underestimated the resourceful brothers. It seemed that Algirdas and Kestutis were invincible whenever they joined forces. Exasperated, the Teutonic Order was forced to give up its invasion plans. At least for a time. The war with the Order was a long and bloody affair, but in the end, Kestutis repelled the invaders. He was thenceforth known as the Steadfast for his stubborn defense and loyalty to his brother. Once Algirdas arrived to help, the brothers even managed to conquer several important Teutonic fortresses. But their quick triumph made steadfast Kestutis careless. During a skirmish, retreating crusaders captured and dragged him to one of the Teutonic border fortresses. Perhaps the crusaders even put chains on him like those that we wear right now. I like to think that they did. But in any case, Kestutis did not remain a prisoner for long. With the help of a loyal servant, he broke a hole in the 3-meter-thick wall of his cell, while Algirdas distracted the Crusader guards with a feigned attack. In the chaos that ensued, Kestutis left the castle on horseback, dressed as a Teutonic knight. With the Crusaders licking their wounds, many expected Algirdas and Kestutis to finally clash over who should be the sole ruler of the country. Yet again, their unprecedented loyalty to one another kept the peace, allowing the brothers to focus on expanding their realm. To the southeast of Lithuania lay the city-states of the former Rus. The Tatar Yoke weighed heavily on these once flourishing cities. 100 years of exorbitant tributes to the Golden Horde had bled them dry, while the Khans built golden palaces on the banks of the Volga. With the Horde weakened by internal disputes, many of the oppressed cities welcomed the Lithuanians as liberators. But some were not so eager to simply replace one overlord with another. The inhabitants of the newly independent city of Kiev saw the Lithuanians as the greater threat, and sought an alliance with their former Tatar masters. A move that Algirdas and Kestutis would not leave unanswered. The Lithuanian army marched south with determination, storming the principalities of Chernigov and Pereslavl in quick succession. The brothers aimed to face the Golden Horde and its allies on the steppe. A bold move, and a tremendous risk that none had dared to take before. Despite their internal squabbles, the battle-hardened Tatar-mounted archers were still considered invincible. But Algirdas and Kestutis were determined to prove otherwise.
Kiev is not far away, but its garrison refuses to hand over the city. Stay here in Smolensk, my brother, to secure our advance. I will see to it that the Kievans change their attitude towards us. The residents of Kiev have surrendered, leaving the city in our hands. Time is of the essence. We must strike quickly if we want to defeat the Golden Horde.
So, Kiev fell to the Lithuanians. Algirdas and Kestutis are most unwise to take what rightfully belongs to the Khan.
Do not worry about supplies, Algirdas. I will instruct my laborers to procure whatever is necessary to keep the flame of war burning. Just keep the Golden Horde's raiders away from us.
Tatar pirates plague the Dnieper River. If we drive away this blight, we could establish a trade route and send our merchant vessels to Smolensk. We sank all of the pirates' ships and destroyed their hideouts. Our boats can now safely navigate the river. Our scouts just discovered that 3 bays command the Golden Horde's forces. Slaying these commanders will throw their armies into disarray and make the fight much easier for us. We have slain Hachi Bey, the leader of the Golden Horde's Kipchak forces. Without his guidance, his followers can no longer carry out advanced maneuvers. Kutluk Bey fell to our blades. The Bulgar wing of the Golden Horde will now be much less of a threat. Demetrius is dead. Without their prince, the Tatar division of the Golden Horde will be a mere shadow of its former self.
One of the Golden Horde's armies has been crushed. Do not let up now, men. Soon the entire steppe will be in our hands. Two of the Golden Horde's armies are shattered. Only one remains.
Did the Lithuanians overcome our invincible horse archers? Everyone, pull back and retreat to the Crimea!
We often call members of the Golden Horde Tatars, but in reality the Horde consists of a multitude of Turkic peoples. Among its ranks are flail-swinging riders from Volga, Bulgaria, Cumans from the Kipchak steppe, and Mongols from Siberia. Such a diverse crowd of peoples and cultures, all united in humiliating defeat at the hands of Algirdas. When the Lithuanian army moved south, crossing the Dnieper into Podolia, the Beys of the Golden Horde scrambled to stop them. But it was to no avail. Armed with spears and swords, the Lithuanian soldiers broke the front lines of the Horde. The Tatars could not hold their formations and retreated in disarray, leaving their Khan no choice but to flee to the Crimea. The blood of horses and warriors slain by blade and arrow colored the dry grass of the steppe red. Algirdas's decisive victory established the Grand Duchy of Lithuania as a major power, bringing him both new friends and enemies. As the Golden Horde plunged towards a dishonorable end, the Rus principalities of Moscow and Tver emerged as the primary beneficiaries of its demise. While the Tatars quarreled with one another, these duchies had quietly grown into powerful states. The Grand Duchy of Moscow was ruled by a prince named Dmitri, who had succeeded in taking on the Khan of the Golden Horde through sly politics. Algirdas's recent territorial gains made him and Dmitri close neighbors, and the two men circled each other like wild beasts of prey, each waiting for the other to flinch. It was Algirdas who moved first. When Prince Mikhail of Tver sought Lithuanian aid against his Muscovite rivals, Algirdas found his long-awaited pretext. Together with the ever-loyal Kestutis, who was already showing signs of growing stale and impotent, he levied an army and marched on Dmitri's domains.
We must hurry! Mikhail and his men are about to lose their battle against the Muscovites.
Where are my Lithuanian allies? We cannot hold out much longer. Algirdas and Kestutis, there you are at last. A few moments later, and I would probably be lying dead in the dust.
Fortune is fickle. Be grateful that the Lithuanians bailed you out this time, but we will meet again on the battlefield, mark my words. Come then, back to Moscow.
It will not be long before Dmitri recovers from this defeat and raises new soldiers. We must set up a camp and prepare for a protracted war. Mikhail and Dmitri have been fighting over the city of Vladimir for years. We should occupy it and force its inhabitants to take up arms in our favor. Vladimir will now fight on our side, so long as we manage to hold the city's palace against our opponents.
We will join whoever can protect us from the raids of the Golden Horde. Help us mend the holes in our wall, and we will support you. Thank you, Algirdas and Kestutis. With your help, the holes in our walls have been repaired. We will keep the Horde at bay as much as we can. While you Lithuanians were fighting over the throne, I was already wrestling with the bloodthirsty descendants of the Great Khan. I advise you to withdraw while you still can.
I will not hide behind my walls and let the Lithuanians take all of the glory. Tell me where you need my armies, Algirdas and Kestutis. I will be there. As you wish. My soldiers are already on their way.
We have burned down 6 food storehouses. Let us see if Dmitri can still rally his soldiers without sufficient provisions.
So, you can fight a little. Do not get excited too soon, Lithuanians. I still control the impregnable Kremlin fortress.
The combined forces of Algirdas and Kestutis managed twice to penetrate into the heart of Moscow. But the walls of the Kremlin brought their advance to a halt each time. Its white limestone walls proved to be an impassable obstacle. Even Algirdas admitted that the Muscovite prince had constructed a military wonder. The war dragged on for years. Neither the Lithuanians nor the Golden Horde, which intervened late in the war, could force a decisive victory. In the end, the only remaining option was to sign a treaty that allowed all parties to return home without losing face. Keeping this peace was Algirdas's last great feat. For a man so shaped and defined by war, it was an odd end. But it meant that he died undefeated. We burned his corpse according to the old custom, on a ceremonial pyre with 20 of his beloved horses and many of his favorite belongings. When the flames began to consume his lifeless body, I looked into the blaze in silence. My father had created an empire stretching from the Baltic Sea in the north to the Black Sea in the south. And I, Jogaila, would be his heir. When Lithuania was in dire straits, my father did not hesitate. He seized power and kept it. I tried to follow his example, and you can see where it has taken me. I aimed for the throne, yet I ended up in this dark, moldy prison cell. It was old, steadfast Kestutis who locked me up, calling me a traitor for coming to an understanding with our old enemy, the Teutonic Order. Yet he was the one who forced my hand. My father chose me as his successor. I was to rule with Kestutis the way that he had. But Kestutis no longer wanted to share his power. I admired him once, you know? He truly was the steadfast, a tempering influence on my father's bold, adventurous personality. But without Algirdas to animate him, Kestutis has turned into a stale, weary, reactionary leader. Now, Kestutis the stubborn clings to a throne that he no longer deserves. Like all weak rulers, he fears the younger generation. The chains on my hands prove that. But I will not be kept from my rightful inheritance. If any sense remained in that aging mind of his, he would know that my father's heart, that boisterous heart of a wild predator, also beats in my chest. And as befits the leader of a pack, I have loyal followers who will not let me rot forever in this dungeon.
We have no time to lose! We must deliver the ransom to free Jogaila before Kestutis changes his mind. Wicked bandits ambush harmless travelers. Restoring order once we have freed Jogaila will be difficult.
You should be grateful to have such loyal followers, Jogaila. And you should be grateful that I could not bring myself to throw my beloved brother's son to the wolves. Now get out of my castle and never be seen here again! You have already brought more than enough shame on our family. Conspire against me once more, and I will not be so lenient.
Oh, you senile fool. It was a big mistake to let me go. But you will learn that the hard way soon enough.
My Duke, the towns of Trakai and Kreva remain loyal to you. I am sure the residents will happily join you if you show yourself in one of these places.
Good. Let us go then.
Well, what a surprise! Jogaila is alive!
Bad news, sire. Kestutis sent his son Vitotas to keep an eye on you. He has occupied Trakai and is reportedly preparing a campaign against you.
Jogaila, if we had foreseen that you would let yourself be duped into captivity so easily, we would probably not have formed an alliance with you. But perhaps you would like to tell us your view of things. Visit us in our camp and let us talk. How dare you not accept our generous invitation? This means war.
It was very honorable of you not to get involved with the devious Crusaders again, Jogaila. Instead of conniving with the Crusader bandits, help us free our brave brothers who were captured fighting the invasions. You have not forgotten your origins, Jogaila. You have shown yourself to be a worthy Grand Duke. We will follow you, just as we once swore allegiance to your father.
I have to admit that you fight more skillfully and tenaciously than I thought, cousin. Even if I must recover a little now, I somehow have the feeling that we will meet again very soon.
I am undone by my own nephew. I wish that I had put you away when I still could, Yugila. He who has relatives like this truly no longer needs enemies.
We have come a long way, foreigner. We met as strangers in a filthy dungeon. And now we stand together in the throne room of Vilnius. Wolves still surround Lithuania, enemies that long for our downfall. But I shall not stray from the path down which I have started. I will rule as my father did. And one day, I shall surpass even him. Perhaps we will meet again, foreigner, if your travels ever bring you back here. But even if we do not, I have the feeling that this will not be the last time that you hear the name Jogaila, Grand Duke of Lithuania.